Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be sharing with you some of our best tips and tricks on how you can work towards getting into the Elite Division very easily. This video is going to offer you some things that you can do to put yourself in better situations to do so, and also some things that you might be doing currently that are putting you at a massive disadvantage. So as always, make sure you show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing, but most importantly, hit the notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new content. So here is exactly what we will be covering in this video. So let's jump straight into it. Now, of course, your skill as a player is the most important factor in actually getting to the Elite Division. For example, if you're someone who sits at Division 7 or Division 8, you cannot expect to just click your fingers, apply a few tips, and just change some magical custom tactics and all of a sudden you'll be in the Elite Division. That's not how it works. You need to work hard on actually improving your game and improving as a player. Now, we've done a detailed video on this exact topic that will give you a step-by-step formula to actually improve. So be sure to go and check that out. Now let's move on to the first thing, and that is your team. Now this is arguably the most important tool that you have at your disposal. When you want to work your way into the higher end of the game, unfortunately, you have to abuse the meta. At the end of the day, meta abusing is more common in the higher divisions, and the higher and higher you go, the more you'll see it. And it is an unfortunate reality of playing FIFA, especially in the last few years. Abusing the meta has been the best way to play the game. So what do we define as meta abusing? Now what we mean is custom tactics, players, and in-game mechanics. So when we look at a team like this, there are some meta players in it, such as Militao, Mendy, Dembele, and Valverde. However, players such as Kroos, Carvajal, and Kimmich are not meta. And what this means is that at a lower division, you can get away with using these sorts of players because the quality of opposition is less and your skill will get you through. However, in the higher divisions, you can't afford to have these players as everybody will have full meta squads along with their skill as a player, meaning you're going to struggle to win many games at all with a team like this. So as you progress up the divisions, you need to make sure that you're improving your squad sufficiently to at least match other players so that you have the best chance possible. Now for us, this is the disappointing reality of playing FIFA, as it does get a bit boring to use meta all the time, but if your goal is to reach the Elite Division, it is a necessary thing. So the next thing that you need to have is a reliable formation, but also a really detailed game plan of formations so that you can combat all situations in all games. So here is what we use as our full game plan. Now you don't need to copy this exactly, as you should use formations and tactics that you feel most comfortable with. But these are the ones that we like using because they suit our playstyle. So we have our ultra defensive setup, which is obviously for hanging on to a lead in the last 5 to 10 minutes of a game. And then we have our two formations in the defensive and attacking slots that we flip between during games. So if one isn't working for whatever reason, we have the other one ready to go and ready to swap into to try and get things going. And then finally, we have our ultra attacking game plan, which is for when we're down late on in a game and we need to get that goal to get back into the game to try and force extra time or potentially win the game. Now, the reason why these are important is because as you climb the divisions, managing games becomes a lot more of a focus because most of the games you play in will be quite tight, and frankly, they're more stressful games where you may be up or down late on in a game and you might need to switch into a formation, into the relevant formation in order to get a positive result. So we see a lot of people that are up by 2 goals, for example, at the 70th minute, and they'll still continue to play in their high pressure, aggressive starting formation. When what they need to do is to manage the game by switching into a formation where they can control the rest of the game and see the result out. Managing the game is super important and it is massively overlooked by a large quantity of players, and if you really want to get to the Elite Division, it is something you're going to have to master. So now, before we continue, if you want us to make more videos like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and make sure you comment below right now with your questions and thoughts on what other videos you'd like us to make going forwards. So now getting back into the video, let's take a look at our third tip. So moving on into in-game mechanics. This is another thing that we personally don't like to do, and we actually don't do this enough ourselves. But abusing broken in-game mechanics is what all of the best players in the game do. It's why the pros are pros. Not necessarily because they're incredible at playing football, but because they abuse the broken game mechanics better than the rest of us. And these are things that you need to master if you want to hang around in the Elite Division. Now, what are broken game mechanics? Well, these will inevitably vary as the game evolves throughout the year, with new exploits being found and posted about but also certain patches that will be designed to fix current broken game mechanics, and then they'll no longer be broken. But right now, everyone likes to use the lengthy players as they are the quickest in the current iteration of the game. And as we said, this potentially could get patched very soon, and then something else becomes the new meta. And I'm sure all of you have seen on Twitter examples of people posting corner kick routines to score directly from corners if your opponent brings their keeper out. These are all examples of broken in-game mechanics, and these are the little nuances that you have to have in your arsenal and just be aware of, because you also don't want to get fallen foul of these things. You don't want to be in a position where these things can come back to bite you, and you want to be using these things yourself in order to give yourself the best chance of winning as many games as possible. And these are the things that you'll have to master when you get into the Elite Division, because these things will get used against you. Now, moving into our last tip, and this is when it is the best time for you to play Rivals in order to get the most favorable matchmaking. Now, we recently did a video diving deeper into this topic and also when the best times are to play FUT Champions, so be sure to check that out. But for the purpose of Division Rivals, Thursday morning / afternoon are always the best times to play, as there's a large number of casuals on the game at this time due to the fact that they've just collected their rival rewards. And then the majority of those players will just jump straight back into games, so it is when you have the biggest pool of casual players playing. Now, as a rule, Wednesday evening is the hardest time to play Rivals, as people that haven't had the chance to get their 8 wins in are all rushing on to play, and often we find that late evenings in general are tougher to play because the player pool is a lot lower at that time of night because of the time of the evening, thus making it more likely you're going to get a lot of harder games. So we definitely recommend not playing in the evenings. We also like to try and get some Rivals games in at the weekend because most of the high level players are going to be playing FUT Champs. So most likely, all of the top level players are going to be playing there, and you're going to be playing people who either didn't qualify for Champs, or are not good enough to qualify for Champs, or they haven't obtained enough points yet, again, potentially giving you easier matches. Now, we truly believe that if you follow these tips and these examples in this video, that you'll be well on your way towards the Elite Division. Now, one thing you got to remember is that at the end of the day, it's about having a good time and having fun. So you got to keep that in mind, and I'm sure we'll see you all in the Elite Division very, very soon. So as we said earlier in the video, if you want us to continue to make more videos like this, then we do need your support. So make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell. And also right now, go to the comments and let us know what other topics and videos you want us to cover, as we always read the comments to decide what videos to create next. Now, if you want to ask us any questions on FIFA 23, whether it be regarding this video or any other topics we've covered, make sure you join our Discord. The link to that is down in the description if you want to ask us any personal questions, because we love being able to help out as many of you guys as possible. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.